Hi and welcome. In this video I will share my experience, give you feedback with this product. I have already made an unboxing video and shown the basic functioning and everything, and here I will just share basically how happy I am with this video. So I'm pretty pleased with this product, and people have asked for my experience after a while. So what we are talking about here is made by company called Jorgensen, and the model is called Heavy Duty Folding WORKTABLE 60P model. So if you're looking for something short, this ain't it. And I will put it down now, and so you can see here it is. I will not go into too many details about how to assemble it and similar. I will point you just to that video, make it linked in the video description, and maybe make it pop up in your top right hand corner if I don't forget. So here this is primarily aimed at sharing feedback after a lot of abuse. I've used this extensively, and basically to put it briefly, I'm quite happy with this. It's pretty stable. Where do I start? Let me start first with the basic function, and that is portable. My goal was to get a portable workbench that I can easily and conveniently carry anywhere where I need to work, and this has served that purpose very well. It weighs just around 10 kilograms. I have no idea how many pounds that is. I will put a link to some online calculator for most viewers who are from the wrong side of the Atlantic, from the United States. I almost forgot to mention this. I have to put this somewhere in the video. I put everything, all these adapters out. There is a place on the bench to keep them all mounted on the bench, but this is a lot more practical for me. And I've weighed them. I have photos. I will try to put those photos in the video also. They weigh about just under 3 kilograms in total. More than 2.5 kilograms, less than 3 kilograms. So they are not super heavy all on aggregate, but when I add those 3 kilograms to the around 10 kilograms of the workbench and their extra bulk and things like that, this way for me it was a lot more practical for everyday use. So I just take the bench out and then take one or two, however many I need for the work that I have at hand, and that's how I worked, and that allowed me to use the place on the bench for just leaving other stuff that I'm working with. So in this area, instead of mounting those tools, I showed in that previous video how it's all aligned. In fact, I left it so I can just use it for leaving things that I want if I need more work here, more place to work here. So almost forgot I wanted to mention that. I think it's important information, and that's it. So it's relatively light for what it is, and that is pretty stable, sturdy workbench that can hold a lot of weight and that does not tip over easily. You can tip it over if you want to do it deliberately, but from normal use and abuse I've had no such problems, and it's not getting rattly or more flimsy over time. It is plastic and aluminum, but those materials were apparently used in decent quality with good design and good manufacturing. So it's just showing me the good signs of those materials, good sides. So it's pretty, how do I say, resistant to any moisture, rain, and all sorts of oils and greases. I haven't found manufacturer statistics and some disclaimers, official data about whether this material is really resistant to being baited in machine oil or similar, because it is plastic. But when I do a lot of mechanics and a lot of spraying, all sorts of stuff, and I just wipe it off without much detail rinsing or anything, and I've had no problems so far. It's highly practical. And what I did also, let me show you. These are all the things that it comes with, of course, and they allow you to do all sorts of things so that you can easily and practically hold things and work on them more easily. So that's basically what I've shown already in my previous video, and it generally works okay. There is an option that I did not show, that I forgot to show in the previous video, and I will try to demonstrate it now. So I can do this with one side and take the opposite side and try to do the same. Okay, so now I can get these two inside of one another using these grooves, and this is now pretty nice. And of course, yes, I did completely miss the setup because I am recording, so this is what we're going for. Now I have a longer, basically getting twice the length of this portable vise, and with this desk I will put pictures. I worked with bulky stuff like a full-sized wooden door to keep it on the desk so I can work on it, and I've also worked with smaller stuff. And if I wanted to really be sneaky and try to sell you this, I would say that it can hold a full-size door with no problems. But the trickier part is getting to fix smaller stuff, and that is my main, how do I say, complaint or main disadvantage and thing to note, apart from getting these released once you, this makes it easier when you're not working against that weight. So the main downside, this is not very easy to disassemble, and that makes it an advantage, because when you're working, you don't want this to come apart and be flimsy. So no really complaints there, just a note that as far as I can tell, both the small one and the big one is pretty sturdy. But the downside is that when you need to clamp some smaller things, you need to be a bit creative. Yes, there are many holes, so you can use these smaller bench dogs or these larger bench dogs, and you can also buy aftermarket stuff. But the caveat is the size. This is, if memory serves me, the less frequent one. There is 20 millimeter standard and the 19 millimeter standard, and this is the, if memory serves me, this is built for the 19 millimeter standard, or whichever one is less frequently found for some high-end bench dogs and bench vices and similar. So my apologies for not having been prepared for the video. I will try to get that data and put it in the video when I'm editing it, or put it in the video's description. If I forget, please remind me. So that's one major downside if you're looking for aftermarket stuff worth mentioning. And another downside is, as I said, for smaller parts, either figuring out where to keep them, which structure to use to keep them locked. There are options I've managed always, but it takes a bit of thinking compared and opposed to those simpler portable benches that have levers and wooden tops, wooden desk tops or bench tops, that you just, when you're turning a lever, it is coming together and leaving apart. Like the whole bench top working as a sort of a vice. For quickly grabbing onto things and working on them, that's more practical. Of course, the downsides of those is weight compared to their rigidity and strength and carrying capacity, and also the wood does not handle elements as well as plastic. So hot sun and moisture and things like that. I've abused this a lot during the winter, so it's pretty sturdy, and it can work as a saw horse. In my native, that's Kozlic. My native is a melodic language. So it can work like that if you have two of these, and then you can put those standard planks that will fit right in here, so pretty stably, and then you can put everything on top or whatever you want to do. So that's the advantage. And I want to show another thing. This is my improvisation, just some hard wood and some rubber glued on with some good mounting glue. And so when I want to work outside and I need to grind something or hold something in place, I usually use this section. That's the most convenient part. So on either side I can put it here. So I put this, then I get this underneath with the rubber side being towards the bench so that it doesn't slip or anything, and then I can keep it, tighten it in place, and it stays, and I can use my this outside. I'll make a separate video about this vise. It's pretty good and I'm pretty happy with it, but I haven't abused it as much as I would have liked to. So that's just the nature of the kind of work that I did during this winter with this bench mostly. And so I did manage to really put it to the test, and so far I've been quite happy with it and I can recommend it. And I think I didn't forget to mention all the catches and potential downsides, things to consider. Overall, I'm happy with this. I would buy it again. I would recommend it, and you can see that it's put right here on in a relatively busy part of my workshop where any space is how do I say, a premium. So that's how much I love this, and I wanted to be able to very quickly and very easily always have it at hand to carry it outside of my workshop, right out of the door, and work. And that's instead of putting it back in the storage room, because I use it too often to be to consider wasting so much time taking it in and putting it back again. So the bench, I mean. So that's it. I think that's the whole video. I think I didn't forget to mention anything. If you have any questions or comments, please use the BikeGremlin.net forum. I've already published an article on my forum explaining why I don't think YouTube or most social networks are a good idea for exchanging information and knowledge and similar. So I also want to thank all the good people who are supporting my work via Patreon. If you like, you can go to patreon.com/BikeGremlin and put in a monthly amount that works best for you. That's highly appreciated, and it does really help me get work. I'll make a separate video about how that funding is going and what I plan to do with it. And that's it. Stay cool. Thank you very much for watching, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I always forget to say that, but it's how do I say, if you find my videos interesting and helpful, only in that case, of course, and that way, if you enable that bell option, you might get notified by YouTube. But I mostly try to make my videos such that you can easily find them using my search engine on BikeGremlin.com website, because it's more of an encyclopedia-like project. So my primary goal is not to be entertaining and get too many views and similar, but to share my knowledge and experience and to get good information from you, from viewers, because over the past more than 10 years that I've been making videos and writing articles online on my website, I got really huge amounts of good quality corrections and information and knowledge from people who read and watch my videos. So it's a two-way communication, and that's really cool. So now it's finally definitely the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and cheers.